Have you ever wondered how your body takes in oxygen and gets rid of carbon dioxide? Every single breath you take depends on the alveoli, tiny air sacs in your lungs where gas exchange happens. These microscopic structures work tirelessly to ensure oxygen reaches your bloodstream and carbon dioxide is expelled. Without them, breathing would be useless, and life itself would be impossible. But how do these delicate structures function so efficiently? What makes them so vital to our survival? Let's take a deep dive into the fascinating world of alveoli, true powerhouses of respiration. The alveoli, singular, alveoles, are tiny, balloon-like structures located at the very end of the bronchioles, the smallest branches of the respiratory tree. Each human lung contains approximately 300 to 500 million alveoli, providing an enormous surface area, about 70 square meters, 750 square feet, for gas exchange. This surface area is roughly the size of a tennis court, which explains how our lungs can efficiently absorb oxygen and remove carbon dioxide. Despite their relatively small size, alveoli are surrounded by a dense network of capillaries, the smallest blood vessels in the body. These capillaries are so thin that red blood cells must pass through them in single file, maximizing contact with the alveolar walls. The walls of the alveoli and capillaries are composed of a single layer of epithelial cells, making them extremely thin, only about 0.2 micrometers. This ultra-thin barrier allows gases to diffuse quickly and efficiently between the lungs and bloodstream. The process of gas exchange in the alveoli occurs through diffusion, a passive process where gases move from an area of high concentration to low concentration. When you inhale, oxygen-rich air enters the alveoli, and because there is more oxygen in the alveoli than in the blood, oxygen naturally diffuses across the alveolar membrane into the capillaries. Meanwhile, carbon dioxide, which is more concentrated in the blood than in the alveoli, diffuses in the opposite direction and is exhaled. This continuous exchange of gases is what keeps us alive. One of the most critical components of alveolar function is surfactant, a special substance produced by type 2 alveolar cells. Surfactant reduces surface tension in the alveoli, preventing them from collapsing after each exhalation. Without surfactant, the alveoli would stick together, making it nearly impossible to breathe. This is particularly important in premature babies who often suffer from neonatal respiratory distress syndrome and RDS due to underdeveloped surfactant production. The structure of the alveoli is finely tuned for maximum efficiency. In addition to type 2 alveolar cells that produce surfactant, the alveola contain type 1 alveolar cells, which make up about 95% of the alveolar surface. These thin, flat cells are specialized for gas exchange, allowing oxygen and carbon dioxide to pass through quickly. Their structure ensures that the diffusion of gases occurs with minimal resistance, making breathing effortless under normal conditions. Surrounding the alveoli are alveolar macrophages, a type of immune cell responsible for keeping the lungs clean. These macrophages roam the alveolar surfaces, engulfing dust, bacteria, and other foreign particles before they can cause infection. This defense system is essential, as the lungs are constantly exposed to airborne pollutants and pathogens. Without these immune cells, our respiratory system would be much more vulnerable to infections. The efficiency of the alveoli is also influenced by blood flow and ventilation. The body has an advanced mechanism called ventilation perfusion matching, which ensures that the right amount of blood reaches the alveoli relative to the amount of air being inhaled. If an area of the lung is not receiving enough oxygen, the body redirects blood flow to better ventilated areas, optimizing gas exchange. This is crucial in conditions such as pneumonia or pulmonary embolism, where certain parts of the lung may not be functioning properly. However, despite their efficiency, alveoli are vulnerable to damage and disease. One of the most common conditions affecting the alveoli is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, which includes emphysema and chronic bronchitis. In emphysema, the walls of the alveoli break down, reducing the available surface area for gas exchange. This leads to shortness of breath and decreased oxygen levels in the blood. Smoking is the leading cause of emphysema, as it introduces harmful chemicals that destroy alveolar structures over time. Another serious condition affecting alveola is pulmonary fibrosis. where the lung tissue becomes thickened and scarred, making gas exchange much more difficult. This can be caused by autoimmune diseases, chronic exposure to toxins, or unknown factors. Patients with pulmonary fibrosis experience progressive difficulty in breathing as their alveoli lose their elasticity and ability to efficiently transfer oxygen into the blood. Alveoli are also affected by acute respiratory distress syndrome (RDS), a life-threatening condition that occurs when the alveoli fill with fluid due to inflammation or injury. This condition can be triggered by severe infections, trauma, or inhalation of toxic substances. When alveoli are filled with fluid instead of air, oxygen cannot effectively reach the bloodstream, leading to severe oxygen deprivation. Patients with ARDS often require mechanical ventilation to support breathing until their lungs recover. One of the most well-known respiratory diseases affecting alveoli is pneumonia, which is caused by bacterial, viral, or fungal infections. In pneumonia, the alveoli become inflamed and fill with pus or fluid, making gas exchange inefficient. Symptoms include coughing, fever, chest pain, and difficulty breathing. Although pneumonia can often be treated with antibiotics or antiviral medications, severe cases may require hospitalization and oxygen therapy. Maintaining alveolar health is crucial for overall respiratory function. Regular exercise helps improve lung capacity and strengthens respiratory muscles, ensuring that alveoli remain active and efficient. Avoiding smoking and exposure to air pollutants is essential, as harmful chemicals can cause irreversible damage to alveolar structures. Additionally, proper hydration and a balanced diet rich in antioxidants support lung health by reducing inflammation and promoting tissue repair. Scientific advancements continue to improve our understanding of alveoli and lung diseases. Researchers are exploring stem cell therapies to regenerate damaged alveoli, offering potential treatments for conditions like COPD and pulmonary fibrosis. Additionally, developments in artificial lung technology aim to create bioengineered alveoli that could one day serve as viable alternatives for patients with severe lung disease. In conclusion, the alveoli are the heart of our respiratory system, ensuring that oxygen reaches every cell in the body while expelling carbon dioxide. These microscopic structures work ceaselessly with each breath, making life possible. Despite their small size, their role is monumental, and protecting them is essential for maintaining overall health. So the next time you take a deep breath, remember the incredible work your alveoli are doing to keep you alive. If you found this information fascinating, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more amazing insights into the human body. Your support helps us bring you more valuable content. Stay healthy, and see you in the next video.